got ugly.
I feel like Reddit's not the place to take any kind of mainstream anything.
I don't give a fuck.
Definitely not.
I just went back at them. I was like, wait, did you call me gay? And they're like, wait, what? I was like, I'm getting you kicked out for hate speech. Let's see. Who do you guys like? Emmanuel Sanders? Does Sam Bradford still have a knee?
He has one knee.
Exactly one.
Well, check.
It's split up though. He's got half on each side. He's got half a knee on each leg.
I'm gonna leave Sam. Yeah. Oh, I put Mike Gillis in.
Hey Shane, quit talking. I'm trying to do an intro for the podcast. That'd be great, or for the live show. So whenever
I'm going on mute.
No. Whenever you're ready. Hey, welcome in to the Dynasty Happy Hour Open Bar. We are live. We just lost all of our viewers. Actually, I'm watching the viewership just go whoop, 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 whoop. And basically, anytime that I speak, it seems like the viewership goes down. Maybe Shane should keep talking. Speaking of Shane, welcome, Shane. Let's start with welcoming in all of our guests. First of all, I've got my co-host, J Mike.
Yeah.
J Mike Check. How you doing tonight, man?
Man, I'm fantastic. Feeling good. It is the night before the best game of the year. Rams, Niners. Get excited.
This is what I've been sweating all year. See, I've been waiting for the eclipse of Brian Hoyer all fucking year. And I think it's going to happen on Thursday Night Football against the Los Angeles Rams.
It's going to be epic. I'm telling you right now.
So CJ Beathard's going to come in and just light it up, I think. And he's going to be the hot waiver ad next week in Dynasty Leagues.
I think Beathard v. Goff is the next Manning v. Brady. Right now.
There we go.
NFC Championship games for years to come.
Well, welcome into the Open Bar. We're here every week, 9:30 Eastern on Wednesdays. We're here to talk football. We're here to have a cocktail with you. I hope that you cracked one yourself or mixed one yourself, whatever you're feeling. Happy to have you. Happy to have, whether you're listening or viewing, it's great to have you here. So we've got a few guests. Let's introduce them. I kind of mentioned it. Spoiler alert. We've got Shane, BFF Shane Manila, the talking Shane says, "What's up, brother?"
All right. So first rule of Shane is you don't say his last name on the goddamn air.
Oh shit! I meant.
I am hiding from people.
What did I mean by that? I meant Shane Carmel.
We have literally no viewers, so that's awesome.
No, the viewers exist. They're especially the listeners. The listeners exist more than the viewers, but they know who you are now. So you may as well just admit it. Say it. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Shane.
Hi, Shane.
Hi, guys. How's everyone doing? So I want to just say that I'm very happy that Gabe let me book tonight's show.
This is true. We pretty much don't have an organizational process in terms of getting guests on, and we just kind of let other people do it. In this week, it was Shane's turn. Usually it's Van Burf, but yeah. I just passed the baton this time, and we'll see how it goes. So are you going to introduce our guests then? Is that how this works? Since you did the...
Well, let's see. There's Sal. Sal, where's he at? Oh, wait, he didn't make it.
Oh,
all right.
Sal didn't thanks, Sal. By the way, thanks, Sal. Falafel House. Yeah.
He well, he's like my age, so he's still napping. I'm a little younger, so I cut my nap short. We have Zach on the twos. Zach?
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, yeah. That's
I don't want to talk too loud.
ZVK.
Sorry.
ZVK.
We were off air with Zach, and we got really frightened when he just started speaking into the microphone. Not just because it was Zach, but because of like the quality of the microphone.
Because I have the voice of God.
Pump up the volume.
Hello.
That was the only other guest that I booked because my other no-showed on us. So thanks,
Yeah.
all.
I don't know if I really got booked or just Shane started screaming at me, and then I just kind of ended up here. It's like that. It's like when you have a crush when you're a kid. You just get yelled at enough, and then you eventually just start liking him back. That's kind of me and Shane.
What? I'm sorry.
I have a crush on you. Sorry.
This is awkward.
Breaking news. Ba, 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 ba.
Hey. Oh, look. Casey Kasem, who's literally never missed an episode, says, "Man, have to miss it tonight." Thank you, Casey. Wow.
And we even got her on the show last week, and now she just bails on us completely. Like she peaked, you know.
Wow.
She got on the show, and then she's like, "Okay, deuces."
She's next
Wow.
Not my thing.
But she did bring up Santana from the singing show, so that was good. I looked that up when I was driving home.
Is that I don't even know. She said so many things last week, and
Most women do. I mean, Michael Rivera's sister.
Hey, #feminism, okay?
I'm all about it.
Feminism's show. All right, so since you couldn't pull in a third guest, you know, I had to take the reins, take control of this, reached out to DHH, the crew at the Dynasty Happy Hour, and we got a second-time guest. I wasn't here for the first time, so I don't even really believe that he's ever even been on the show. He's going to have proof that he's actually had a presence. But it's Corey. How you doing tonight, brother?
Hey, pretty good. Don't know what I got into tonight, but I've been having a good time, I guess.
Hey, I already saw you sipping on something. I don't think it was dark, but I don't think it was syrup.
No, it's definitely dark, and it's actually never heard of this till now. It is an oatmeal cream pie beer, and it's pretty good.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Is that made by Lil Debbie or?
It's some small brewery in Michigan, Pigeon Hill.
All right. Shout out to Pigeon Hill. We're looking for sponsors for the Dynasty Happy Hour Open Bar, shown weekly on Wednesdays, 9:30 Eastern. I already forgot the brewery name. What is it again?
Pigeon shit, something like that.
Yes, pigeon shit.
That's how we keep the sponsors rolling in.
I love pigeon shit.
Well done.
All right. Well, we're here. We're through week 2. We were just talking off air with Shane. He was looking through some waiver wire ads, and he was getting some real hot pickups. Shane, who you getting this week, man? The waiver wire is hot.
Well, now, mind you, this is a redraft league, but I was able to pick up Evan Ingram. I'm not really sure why he was available. Evan Ingram.
Who this?
He, you might have seen him destroying Detroit secondary on Monday night. He's pretty
that's
good.
About the only person who could destroy Detroit secondary.
Eli's washed. So that's it's a shame. They should put him down.
I was just about to say, they need to take him behind the shed, call it a day. Just, hey, man, thank you for everything you did. Just go.
Eli Yeller.
Does anyone know what side, who's going to be lining up against Eric Flowers this weekend? Or on Sunday?
Right. Yes.
It'll probably be just me. I'll be lining up.
Because you'd get 3 sacks. I mean, 2 of them would be assisted, but still, they count.
ZVK with the hat trick. It'd be nice.
I can't wait to watch Eli die this weekend. It's going to be great.
But he'll never miss a start, though.
It is Eagles. Who's on that end for the Eagles? I don't even know.
Benny Logan's still up there, right?
Connor Barwin, is he still there?
False. Also false. Jesus Christ, guys.
Look up depth charts. We're already at that point.
It's either Vinny Curry or Brandon Graham. If it's Brandon Graham, or if they put Fletcher Cox out there, he will literally eat Eli Manning. He will
huge Cox fan.
He plays.
I'm sorry. You're a huge what?
Doesn't he? The defensive tackle.
I'm sorry. Could you play that back? You're a huge what?
A huge fan of Cox.
Okay.
And like we said earlier, these two have a crush on each other, and they're developing some sort of relationship. So
tonight.
This is the wooing period.
can't wait to see what happens when Shane goes into heat.
Oh, God.
That's not football related even a little bit.
That was the line.
Yeah, I said some awful shit, but that's terrible.
So Evan Ingram, hot tight end pickup. You also got a 37,000-year-old Benjamin Watson.
Yes.
Sorry if you're listening, old Benji, but I mean, cheers to you first of all for a nice little week. Are y'all picking him up, or is that just kind of is he playing the Dennis Pitta effect, or was it the Cleveland Browns?
Browns.
Yeah.
Nah, Joe Flacco loves him some tight ends. It doesn't matter who's in the tight end position, as long as it's not Max Williams.
You leave him alone.
Well, he loved Pitta. It's just Pitta kept breaking his hips because he was in his late 70s too, apparently. I don't understand. They have the oldest tight ends ever.
They have the worst. Yeah, I'll say it again. I don't know what the hell they're drinking out in Baltimore, but it is certainly not water, and it's worse than sewage.
It's not milk, because milk gives you strong bones.
Shout out to Got Milk, looking for sponsors on the Dynasty Happy Hour Open Bar. We will make 5 White Russians if you just sponsor us for 2 episodes, 2% episodes. Matter of fact. Okay, what were we talking about? Trying to get a sponsor.
I believe we were talking about old tight ends and who we're picking up.
That's
Jason Witten.
Jason Witten. What waiver wire is he on in Dynasty, though?
Not in Dynasty. I actually did just pick him up in a 16-team league where it's standard and it's wide receiver or tight end. And he was up there with like JJ Nelson. Him and JJ Nelson's were like JJ Nelson were the top 2 scorers of 2017 so far. So I mean that it's pretty dry, but like no one really picks up tight ends because they aren't great when you can.
You only need one of them.
Versus. Yeah. And I dropped Jordan Matthews for Jason Witten, so I feel good about it.
Poor Jordan Matthews.
Dude, poor Jordan Matthews.
What has happened to Tyrod Taylor? He used to be a decent quarterback. Oh.
What?
Tyrod. I
don't want to touch this one because of the race card. I'm not doing that. No. Not doing it.
What?
I don't feel comfortable with where this conversation is going.
Maybe
because the Patriots fan doesn't want to touch the race card. Oh, got it. Okay, great. Yes. Perfection.
Oh.
Yeah, home of a white slot receiver, and I don't want to touch the race card. Yeah, so Ty God, we only have room for one God on this podcast tonight, and it is Zach. He reigns supreme over Ty God tonight. Would you agree, Zach?
No, I'm not a big Ty God fan. I don't know. I'm warm on him. It's not like he's terrible, but there's just nobody in Buffalo, and it's just I really hate all Buffalo receivers. I hated Sammy Watkins. I hated Robert Woods. I'm huge on them now that they're gone. I just think the cold weather and being up north just too close to Canada, something like that.
It's definitely the Canada effect.
So you hate Canadians?
Yes. Oh, I'll be open about that. I absolutely hate Canadians.
Oh, shit. We had a Canadian on last week. Jay might call me out on this. Derek, right? The pharmacist?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, I thought so.
Of course he's a pharmacist.
I know.
That's the perfect Canadian job.
A drug dealer? Is this code?
I'm a pharmacist for free healthcare, or I deliver milk in a bag. That's what I do as well.
Okay.
What is happening?
I don't know. This is maybe the worst episode I've ever been a part of, watched, or been told about.
Delete the first 20 minutes of this. And
basically, yeah.
Yeah. I am a fan of other receivers there that are not there anymore, such as Sammy Watkins, except he's kind of been Dudley do wrong lately. And I don't know, is it matchup thing or like getting acclimated to Jared Goff or what? Because he's been bumming me out a little bit.
Anyone? Corey?
I think here you go. He'll get better once he gets acclimated. He's pretty new to the system. Jared Goff, is pretty new as well. Once they kind of get acclimated, I think the big thing for them will be Todd Gurley. The more effective Todd Gurley is, the more effective Sammy Watkins will be.
Look, I am the resident Sammy Watkins truther. So Zach, I guess we are just vehemently opposed to each other in this instance. I don't love what I saw the first couple of weeks, but I do believe that it has nowhere to go but up. I'm still in on the Rams, at least not being nearly as terrible as they were last year. So yes, still riding with old Sammy.
Yeah, I think he's still talented as hell. I mean, he certainly didn't lose talent somewhere on the flight from Buffalo to Los Angeles. Oh, Zach, what are you doing?
Zach.
What are you doing, Zach?
Keep the microphone above the pants.
Oh my God.
What
is going on here, man?
What did you just do? I
got kicked off. I'm in this fucking thing. I'm the worst, man.
Agreed on that account. I thought that we were like in a movie for a second. I was kind of tripping. Like I didn't know why there were two of you. So
you weren't supposed to see any of that shit.
But anyway, Sam Watkins, the talent, it's there. Cooper Kupp, he's a guy. Todd Gurley, he's another guy. I don't know. I don't get it. Buffalo was so run heavy, and they were already using LaShawn McCoy heavily, and that was the issue why we didn't like Watkins as much is because of one, Tyrod. He runs it more than anyone else, and then they also run a lot with Shady, so he's just not going to get a lot of targets. And then when you go to LA, you got Gurley. Goff's not running around. He's going to spread it around. It seems like he likes to spread that. I don't want to get back into that, but he certainly is getting it out to Kupp and Woods and a little bit of Everett and Higbee. I mean, and even Gurley. Gurley's had a lot of receptions out of the backfield, oddly enough. That's like the only part in which he's successful in the first 2 weeks.
False. He's hurdled several people this year.
Off of yards after a catch kind of thing. Yeah. Like the touchdown that he scored.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a reception.
Oh, but I still count it as hurdling. I mean, he's good at hurdling. It's a separate act than catching the ball. He didn't hurdle while catching the ball.
I'm just saying he was in open space, whereas when he's getting a handoff, he's already got three guys surrounding him and he has no place to go. But
again, not his fault.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, yeah, Adam Spinks, the RB scout, was tweeting some stuff out earlier this week about how Kareem Hunt has on average, I think, 460 yards before anyone comes near him to tackle him. And Gurley, it was negative. So it's hard to run when, the defensive lineman and you are looking at each other like, well, do you want to take the ball or do I? I'm like, all right, I guess I'll take the handoff. It's difficult. I'm not a professional coach or anything, but I'm just saying that's not optimal.
But I think a lot of defenses still kind of realize that, Goff has to throw the ball at least a little bit for your offense to advance on us kind of thing. Like they're going to just put 8 in the box. They're going to just hover around Gurley. They know he's the most talented player on that offense. And then maybe that's why Goff's had a little more success. I don't know. But I think that, and we kind of talked about this already a little bit last week and a couple weeks, or I think it was last week, but the McVay effect.
Yeah, I was actually hoping, and it might have something to do with the fact that, Sammy got there late. But I was kind of hoping he was going to open up the field, the field for Gurley. He was going to see some deep passes, but I'm having trouble getting on to a site to look it up. But last I heard, Goff is throwing a lot of short to intermediate stuff. He's not really taking any deep shots.
I thought in his last game he had one of those games where he's like, I'm going to throw 10 times over 10 yards and hit every single one. I thought maybe I'm thinking week 1. That was week 1 where he was really good. Yeah, because last week he sucked. That's right.
10 yards.
He was average last week, but I mean, he wasn't like Russell Wilson bad the last 2 weeks.
He wasn't week 1 Jared Goff, that's for sure.
That's the new standard, right? Week 1 Jared Goff.
Yeah, it's like week 1 Alex Smith or week 1 Trevor Siemian.
Or week
2. That's stud level.
I mean, Trevor Siemian's the best quarterback in
Trevor Siemian at this point, right?
Yeah, he's the best quarterback in all football. If you're not trading for
about that, what? Okay, so Siemian takes, because I want to fucking know the Siemian takes right now. Is he good, or is this like flash in the pan? Played some vanilla defenses, because I don't necessarily think that's entirely the case. And watching him play, he looks okay. He looks like he makes some stupid decisions, like Josh McCown type shit, but like especially when running the ball, he just looks like he just has a fucking steel head or something, and he can run through anything. But what's y'all's take on Trevor Siemian?
I got nothing. I don't know if the guy's any good. I don't know if he's a game manager. I know this about him, though. He's smart enough to throw the ball to 2 people, to Emmanuel Sanders and Demaryius Thomas, who have about a 50% of the target share. So he's at least intelligent enough to throw it to the 2 good receivers on his team.
Bingo.
Very good receivers. Very good receivers, not just good. Excuse me.
Bingo. And I think if nothing else, we're recognizing that Simeon's a smart person. He's a smart quarterback. It's like, hey, but also keeping in mind, Gabe, the man that you guys left for dead on the episode we were talking about running backs that we really enjoyed for this season.
Shut up.
Yes. Yes. The straw that is stirring the Denver drink right now, CJ Anderson.
Whose guy was that when we were talking about like guys that no one else is on? Was that your guy?
This guy, right chill.
Oh my God!
Wasn't CJ having a good year last year before he got injured? As is his apparently his duty in life.
CJ was doing okay until he had. I think it was the game against the Panthers where he scored like 3 touchdowns and none of them counted because they all came back for holding.
Yes, I
got hurt,
that week.
and then he died. Yeah, that was basically it. Yes.
But I mean, that's kind of his MO is always been either to be hurt the beginning of the year or the end of the year. So we still have 14 weeks that we're expecting him to be healthy. Good luck. Good luck.
All I'm saying is essentially as it pertains to Simeon's progress, he certainly played a large part of that.
So what do we think happens if CJ goes down again? You think Jamal and Devontae Booker, when he comes back, they can continue to help him with that?
D'Angelo.
Yeah.
Jonathan. Don't
The Stephen Ridley
Jonathan Williams, baby.
No.
God, I was so disappointed about that fucking Buffalo Bill as well.
The Broncos are going to be a legit playoff team this year. I think they're going to be a legit. I think they're going to be first place in the AFC West. The only team that can knock them out is Oakland because they're fucking good too. But man, I love Trevor Siemian. Trevor Siemian is probably one of the best fucking quarterbacks I've ever seen play. I love the dude.
Wow.
Dude's smart as hell.
Wait, what?
Went to Northwestern. He was like a 6th or 7th round pick. I love Trevor Siemian. I've been on him since he got in the league, man. So I'm excited that he's doing well. And you're right, he does hit the 2 best receivers, and then he also hits whatever tight end is on the field every fifth play. The Virgil Green, AJ Derby,
whatever.
Yeah.
So you said he's the best quarterback in?
That's what he said.
Because I actually own him in a league, and it just so happens to be a league where you're selling a couple guys that I'd like. So,
I already have. Yeah, but I already have 3 quarterbacks.
No,
maybe 4.
You can never have enough quarterbacks in a one quarterback league. That's a misnomer. That's a myth.
I've actually hit that limit. I've hit the limit there.
Damn it.
The weird thing is he's just been like super, super efficient. Like he's very low on his attempts. Like, let's see, top 20 in attempts. Like he's not up there with Rodgers and Breeze and Brady. Like he's the what is he? The number 2 quarterback, and he's only thrown the ball 60 times. So
he's got 450 yards. That's what Brady threw for last week.
Yeah, right. 450 on the season, which is yeah, it's all in the touchdowns. So I mean, there's certainly regression coming in that sense, and I think he's just kind of doing his job and letting what the Broncos should be doing is just having a good defense and then allowing just the offense to run the way it should, which is like a 60-40 runs to pass ratio ish, probably something like that. And then just kind of controlling the clock. Cause like they don't really have like, yes, they have 2 really good wide receivers that just kind of get the job done, but they can't, I don't know. I can't see a Trevor Siemian where he's like pushing it, 2-3 scores down and having to throw the ball a lot more than they run the ball. Like, I don't know if they can run that type of offense to where they're going to be successful. You know what I'm saying?
But that's the thing; they'll never have to worry about that because he'll throw for a touchdown in the first quarter, like without a doubt. Then they're going to run one in, of course, too, with probably C.J. Anderson until he's hurt. But then it's just the defense is going to be so locked down. They're never in a situation where it's like, shit, we're 2 to 3 scores behind. It's like, all right, we're 1 score up, 2 scores up, and then 3 or 4 by the end of the game. They're just never going to be in that situation. That defense is too good. That whole team is too good, and the offense is it's too consistent and too level. It's just that team is poised to go 14-2 or 13-3. Just run it.
Well, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
You guys don't watch the same Broncos as me? What's going on, dude?
Trevor Siemian, look, he's having a very, very, very nice start. And like Gabe was saying, he's super efficient. He's scoring, throwing for a lot of touchdowns right now. That's going to come back. That's going to regress to the mean. And at the end of the year, he'll be what he is, a game manager, which, there's nothing wrong with that in the NFL. That's fine. Don't lose the game. Like Gabe said,
took down Dallas. Dallas was almost Super Bowl bound last year. Like they were in the talks all season. Hey, this team is legit. They're going to make it to the Super Bowl. And they beat their asses. It wasn't even close. It was a walloping. It's like that Denver team. That they can go to the AFC Championship. I'll put my money on it right now. I'll pull my dick out and we'll put money on this.
I'm sorry. Wait, what?
Whoa!
Wait.
Do you guys bet differently in your states? All right.
That's not how we shake on things. That's not how we do it.
Real quick, shout out to everyone in the YouTube chat. For those that may not know, obviously we run this live, and we have the live show here that we show on YouTube, and the chat is lit as usual. A few things I need to make sure that we address here. Andrew in the chat asks you, Shane, are you from Philly?
I find that question very racist. I find that question very. Somebody give me a smart word. No, hold on. I gotta look.
Shane, don't you have a battery gun? Just a gun that just shoots batteries whenever you go to sporting events. You just
just
athletes with batteries.
Just when we go to the synagogue with the kids. Because if the rabbi. I used to boo him, but that doesn't get the job done. So now I pull out the battery gun, shoot him with it. That's how we say hello in Philadelphia. We hit each other with batteries, then we boo each other, and then we find we're just terrible people.
So I'll take that as a yes. Okay, very good.
Oh shit! Yes.
All right, so we got Shane's first and last name. We know where he lives.
Damn it! Wait, I'm sorry, Andrew. Do you work for any law enforcement agency?
One other thing here, Zach. There was a ton of uproar when you went on your Simeon soliloquy there.
Oh man,
alliteration, Jay.
As the resident Pats fan, apparently with the ball cap you got there, is there anything you want to say about the GOAT TB12 v Simeon?
Ooh.
It's Brady, but it's close. Like if you're maybe you throw in a third, and then I would go Simeon's side, but it's Brady.
Now, so this is open bar, not open smoke, right? Because I don't even know what to say.
We got to get everyone on here to hear these Simeon takes, the Simeon slam of football out here.
I'm about to log off. My computer's starting to crackle and sizzle and stuff.
Oh my god!
Oh my goodness!
To put it in perspective, though, guess who threw more attempts than Dak Prescott last year? A top 7-8 quarterback last year. Trevor Simeon. 486 pass attempts versus 459. 23 touchdowns for Dak. Simeon's got the rushing touchdown. He's rushing around like Josh McCown out there. I don't know.
See, I'm winning people over here.
So he's going to end up with a concussion, a broken collarbone, and then
yes.
Yes. Okay. Christian Hackenberg's going to get traded out there and look really bad.
Yes. Doesn't matter where he is. That is always factually correct.
Zach, I just want to let you know, you really have the people in the chat really feeling some type of way right now.
I love it.
They're like he's kidding, right? Right? Like seriously, he's kidding, right?
I would okay. Seriously, I would put him on Brady's level, but I do love Trevor Simeon. I would take him over like half the quarterbacks in the league right now.
Right. You realize you're saying
more. Actually, I would probably take him. It's Brady, Breeze, Rodgers, Simeon. Maybe top 4.
Motherfucker, I will. No one said you, Zach. Real quick, maybe it's the pronunciation because I know we're all from different parts of the country. They're saying Simeon, not Seaman.
Oh,
is that right?
So let me just look up his stats then, real quick. No, I love fucking Trevor Simeon, dude. I love Trevor Simeon. The dude was 7th round draft pick from North. I know everything about this kid, dude. He played football for like he played for like a year and a half. He didn't play for shit. I think he threw for 4,000 yards in his entire college career. It was terrible.
That's right. Did he even start?
You're looking up Siemens stats or Simeon?
Well, I mean, I got 2 different tabs open now, so.
Do you know how fast he can swim? Wrong tab.
He gives Phelps a run for his money. I swear, I saw it with my own 2.
Did he even start at Northwestern or wherever that?
Oh, of course. Yeah. Let me just confirm that. Back up in 8 games, season opener. He played in all 12 games in 2013, and then started the first 11.
If you're the holder on an extra point, did you technically play?
Yeah, ask Romo.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Gabe. Yeah. See, we just got that fucking synchronicity.
Oh man, the quick little pivot here, just because I'm curious. Obviously, it's 2 weeks and everybody's had their blazing hot takes and feeling pretty good about themselves. Zach being one of them. But real quick, if you do a check just of how you were feeling coming into the year, what is there a player that you feel like after 2 weeks you feel like you were incredibly wrong about?
Guys, I feel wrong about 2 weeks into the season.
Yes,
it's hard. It's hard to think about those ones because I usually just think about how right I am.
Let me pull up my rankings.
I was wrong as possible on Kareem Hunt.
Okay, that's a great one. I wasn't off of him, but I was like, all right, this dude is definitely like a late first, early second, and that's it. And then even after Ware went down, I was like, it's going to be a Charizard, Charkandrick West show. I was like, they're not going to put Hunt out there. He's going to suck. So I would go with Hunt. I like that one.
I didn't think he would suck, but I didn't think he was this. And I was tweeting in glee on Sunday when the Eagles were kind of holding him in check in the first half. Like, yeah, this guy's not shit. See what he is when he's got to play a real defense. And then I went out to smoke and I heard yelling. And so after I yelled at my wife, I asked her to keep it down. I realized it was because Hunt just, took it for 60 yards. And then I watched him drag the entire city of Philadelphia into the end zone. So that was awkward.
Yeah, his first half, they kind of bottled him up a little bit, and they probably knew, they schemed for that a little bit. And that Eagles defense is actually pretty good. And but what I saw was like kind of the yards after contact kind of thing, and he just kept fighting for everything. And the cuts he would take are always great too. So there's just no slow on that guy. I mean, he's just looking really good for sure. I was taking him over Juju Smith-Schuster back in January, and I was getting all sorts of shit for that. So fuck all y'all.
Well, that alter ego voice is coming back again.
That's right.
Can we talk about the guys we were right about now? Everything we were right about? All the good stuff?
No
shit.
I need to know what you were most wrong about. We can get to some good stuff later, though. Corey, what about you, Corey?
I totally screwed up on LeGarrette Blount.
True.
I was thinking like an RB3, 8 to 10 touchdowns, and I think I just dropped him in 3 leagues. It's real bad.
That is some serious. What is it? Buyer's remorse.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was thinking he was gonna have like a similar role to what he had in New England, just not as many touchdowns because those touchdowns are absurd, but 0 carries in a game when your other running backs are Darren Sproles and Wendell Smallwood. It's just ridiculous. I totally screwed that one up.
And Wendell Smallwood is really not good at football. I didn't get to see a lot of him because he ran the ball 4 times out of the 13 times that the Eagles actually ran it, or 3 times, excuse me. But one of them was just like right up his offensive lineman's ass. Like, dude, you're not. There's no daylight there. Don't go up his ass. Nothing. There's nowhere to cut.
You don't know that.
Zach.
I think the Eagles screwed up when I think they're going into the draft thinking they're going to get a running back, and when they came out without a running back, they're like, oh shit, we got to get a running back. So they get a guy that just doesn't fit their system at all, and it's just been atrocious.
Are you talking about the Smallwood?
What do you mean, Donnell Pumphrey? Excuse you, Corey. Donnell Pumphrey.
All of them.
Donnell Pumphrey is 120 pounds.
That poor guy, man.
He's Darren Sproles' replacement.
Shut up. Just all of you. Shut up.
They don't have a guy running between the tackles.
They have Corey Clement.
I'm an Eagles fan too.
Corey Clement's gonna. You got to give him a. Here's the other problem though. They run the ball 14 times a game. You can't running backs.
No one to run the ball.
No, that's false. They were averaging 4 yards a carry when they stopped running the ball. Darren Sproles was averaging 4.8. Wendell Smallwood, except didn't see a carry for something like 3.5 days on Sunday. His last run was 8 yards. It was a positive run. And then Doug Peterson, who's pretty bad as a head coach, I'm learning, decided that, what's a good idea? Let's get Carson Wentz killed. Let's just keep dropping back.
When did you think he was a bad head coach? Like maybe when they had 3 starting quarterbacks on their team at one point in time, or was that what it was?
That was because of Chip Kelly, though.
Yeah, that wasn't his fault. Nobody wanted Bradford.
I'd put that on him.
They got a first round for Bradford. That's great.
Yeah, I know. They played that brilliantly. I mean, you get a first round for freaking Sam Bradford. He wasn't worth the first round pick when he was a first round pick.
Hey, now. For one game in New Orleans, Sammy Biscuits balled out.
He did against a horrible defense.
Yeah, Tom Brady did
that was the preference
what Sam
against
Bradford
the Saints.
did in one half. I mean, I don't know if it was I'm almost starting to think that it was Saints defense. Sam Bradford looked very good, that's for sure. But Tom Brady did it in a half. Like, damn, I don't know.
So it's Trevor Siemian, then Sam Bradford, Zach?
Right.
Okay.
Which one is sleeves? Do you get full sleeve Sammy Bradford? I'll take full sleeve Sammy Bradford over maybe even Breeze. I'd take him over Breeze. No, I hate Sam Bradford. I can't stand the dude. He's got terrible knees. He's a bad quarterback. He got lucky. The only reason he set a new record for completion percentage last year because he threw the ball 12 times over the year. You hit 10 to 12 of those, and you break the record yourself. So he's just garbage. I hate Sammy.
Sounds like Trevor Siemian.
When Trevor Siemian is your MVP this year, don't forget my handle.
Let's be clear. Sam Bradford had more attempts last year than Trevor Siemian, 552 to 489.
This feels like there's going to be a math test at the end of all this.
Please don't ruin my narrative with stats.
Don't let your facts come between a good story.
9.8 or 7 yards per attempt on Bradford. Oh, and guess who else was 7 last year? Trevor Siemian.
The GOAT.
Just off, Gabe, I'm assuming you're looking at in some kind of order. I'm guessing that would be very toward the bottom of the league.
7
very towards the bottom.
Is. Yeah,
or in English, whatever.
It was right there with Brock Osweiler as far as yards per attempt. But that's not necessarily anything to look at. It has no relevance necessarily. I mean, Derek Carr was there too. Palmer sucked last year, but Winston was there, Stafford. So it's not a big thing, but worth mentioning. More like yards per pass completion would be better-ish, which was like Bradford at 9.8. Siemian was up there at 11.8. So there's your boy Siemian.
some other names that came out in the chat in terms of guys people were incredibly wrong on after the first 2 weeks. This first one's a pretty interesting one. Kenny Britt. Not that you necessarily thought he was going to set the world on fire, but you thought, hey, maybe he can have some sort of continuation of the success he had last year. And I feel like he's been an overwhelming echo in the chat right now. When you look at Cleveland's numbers for the year, just target numbers, he is looks like 6th, 7th, 6th.
They don't even have anyone to throw the ball to, and he's still not getting targets.
You have to bring guys off the practice squad. Rashard Higgins coming up. Yeah,
Hollywood Higgins, man.
Kenny Britt's got 5 targets. 5 targets in 2 games.
Yeah.
Well, I don't watch a lot of Cleveland games because I'm not that stupid.
Good for you.
But yeah. So from what I understand, he's not really running routes, and he's kind of just he's like that little kid that doesn't want to play baseball, that kind of just sits down in left field and starts picking flowers. Like that's what he was doing on Sunday, I was told.
No, he's just a decoy.
That's my favorite position. I wish they need to have a fantasy position called decoy. Just the more passes they get, they lose points. You start with 5, and it's just all right. If he has a catch, you lose a point. You're not supposed to do that, decoy.
Yeah, everybody bought into Kenny Britt. I mean, all year or all offseason, literally every Dynasty site podcast, guy on the street, homeless guy that yells at me all the time was like, Kenny Britt's a great buy. And I'm like, whoa. He was the most overvalued, undervalued player ever. Everybody was on him.
If Kenny Britt's your wide receiver 3, you're doing things. # doing things.
Yeah, bring it back.
Shout out to the Gutfield Pie.
And I think we overestimated Kenny Britt's, I guess, love for the game. I guess because he's never really had a big contract before this one. I don't believe, relative terms. Be big for us, but not for him so much. And he's got his money. I think he's just like, look, I tore up my knees at the age of 20. I just want to go back and party again. So you can release me, whatever. I could be wrong. I mean, I don't know Kenny Britt. I've never hung out with him, regardless of what anyone says.
Regardless of what anyone says.
Disregard those police reports and voice recordings.
Yeah.
I was never with him.
Let's look this up. See where that DUI came from. Got it out from Philly.
Hey, this is another interesting name that got thrown out. The Enigma himself, Terrell Pryor.
Ooh.
Now
I'm still buying.
Yeah, and here's the
Not
thing. I was just about to say we had our DHH Vox going earlier today, and we had a nice semi-lengthy discussion about old TP. And what do you guys think about him? I'm interested to hear some non-DHH thoughts on this because we were all over the place.
I was never crazy about Pryor. Like, he had a fantastic year in Cleveland. Like, I'll give that to him. I don't know. There was already too much going on in Washington. They don't really have stability at like quarterback, where it's like this long-term plan. I don't know. I feel like you put him in there. He's not the type of guy that kind of works well with that. So I was never really on him. I know he's kind of proven a lot of people wrong, of course, but I wasn't really one of those guys. I just didn't really like him. But I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm bigger on Crowder. I love Jamison Crowder. I mean, they got Ryan Grant. That's one of my deep dudes. I love Ryan Grant. So to see him at least catching balls every game is just fantastic. So that's why I didn't like Pryor, though. Kind of situational, less him personally, because he's got a ton of talent. It's not a shot at his talent whatsoever, because he's fantastic. It's more of just the Redskins. They suck.
So you're just hands off. You're just hands off of the Redskins in general this year. Gotcha.
Except for Crowder. I love Jamison Crowder. He's my boy.
Shane, what do you think?
I think Zach is saying a lot of stupid things. This is getting added to the list. I also like Jamison Crowder. I tried to trade with Zach for him, and I tried to buy low, and he belittled me in front of people. But I mean, Pryor's getting the targets, and I don't watch every Washington Redskins game, but I obviously caught their first game because they played the Eagles and they got a big L, so that was nice. But Pryor's getting the targets. I'm not worried about it. I mean, it's still a new team. It's 2 weeks in. We know the guy's super talented. Jordan Reed is injured again today, I think. I don't know. Twitter was making fun of him. There was a bunch of memes or whatever you call those things. Memes.
Oh, no.
Memes. There was memos. There was memos on the Twitter land.
Log off, dude.
Yeah. And
FYF for your files.
Memes.
Look, I don't know how to say words. But Terrell Pryor's, I'll buy him low. If someone's willing to sell him, I'll take him right now. He's going to turn it around. He's going to still get all the deep targets on that team. I like Crowder too, but Crowder's just not a deep threat. Jordan Reed is about due to go out for 6 to 7 weeks.
Because of a concussion, not an actual injury, just a concussion where he forgets his name for a few weeks.
I mean, his toe hurts, his ribs hurt, everything hurts with that guy. He's arthritic, I think. I don't know.
He ended last year hurt.
Yes.
He's starting this year hurt. I don't like. What were you doing in the offseason?
Right.
Not good things.
He just needs to get a full body cast next year. Just lay down. Actually, just freeze him. He just gets frozen for a year, just throughout the offseason. Just go freeze yourself.
They should just throw him into a room and let him play VR Madden and just be like, "You're playing, Jordan. You're playing.
This is you."
He'd fall. He'd probably stand up and trip over something.
Corey Cameron, bring that hammer.
Don't say Corey. That makes me sad. Corey Coleman.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I miss him already.
All right. Well, I already own Pryor, probably in 70% of my leagues. Actually, the rest of the leagues I sent out trade offers today because I want to buy low. And Rob Kelly's hurt, right? He's gonna miss some time.
Yes.
Okay. So this team is
this week.
Exactly. Yes.
Either
yes
way.
to both.
Yes.
Either way,
Yes, he's
this
missing.
team,
He's playing this week.
Yes.
this team can't run the ball. The team's gonna throw the ball a lot. And then Cousins thrown for 5,000 yards the last 2 years. It's gonna come back. Cousins is gonna play this bad all year. Those passes are gonna go to someone. I think they're gonna go to Pryor. Crowder's great, but he can't get past like 8 yards down the field. Then Pryor's the big target downfield. He's fast. I don't think a lot of people realize how fast he is. It's gonna come. This is kind of the low point right now. Like I said, I just put out all the trade offers I could for him, try to get him in 100% of leagues. Same with Cousins. Cousins is like the 5th ranked quarterback right now, and he'll finish as a top 7 guy. The yards will be there for sure, and the touchdowns will eventually come. Yeah, it'll be there. Just give it some time.
Gabe, I don't think we've ever had the full spectrum of how people should feel about a player until today on the show. Zach is like, no thanks, I'm good. Shane's like, yeah, sure, if you're going to sell him low, whatever. And Corey's like, no, give me all the Pryor, all of it.
No doubt, yeah. It basically sounds how it did at the beginning of the season between like who's going to be the guy between Terrell Pryor, Jamison Crowder, and Josh Doxson. And now Josh Doxson is an afterthought. But I mean,
I was wrong.
Pryor and Jamison Crowder is now like the beef, and it's like a shitty beef because they're both like completely awful. It's just funny that everyone was beefing about that and arguing over it when really it's like, maybe these guys are just both going to be top 30 wide receivers, maybe, and that's about it. I mean, that's definitely – and Cousins can still have his top 10 year and have 2 top 30 quarterbacks. That's possible, and he'll need some tight end help, but I guess Chris Thompson's there to assist as well. I don't know. It's interesting to hear definitely all the – it sounds like a shitty offense to analyze, that's for sure. I don't want any piece of it really. And I swear, guys, these wide receivers, they will come and go. Pryor's on a 1-year deal. Crowder, yes, I love him too, but he's small and unathletic, and I don't know. They come and go. He might reappear next year, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's outside of a top 35 season pretty easily.
Don't go on Twitter. Don't go on Twitter.
What's Twitter? Are people talking on Twitter right now? Or don't go on Twitter later? Oh, wait. No, yes. Yes. Shout out to Five. Oh, memes. They were on the Twitter. That must be what you're referencing, yeah, Shane? Now I can't hear you at all. You're like,
oh God, this is the best he sounded all night.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, there's that laugh.
He's back.
Oh gosh, you guys.
So for y'all that are listening, Shane did mispronounce a meme earlier and called it a meme or something of the like, and Dynasty 5 called him out on Twitter and shared an actual meme, ironically. So good stuff, Fife. That's funny shit.
It's not even a real word, is it? I don't think it is.
I don't think there are like words anymore. Uh-oh, Shane's getting up. We're going to the shitter, or he's going for the smoke.
Neither. Okay, we're getting a drink.
Shane's going to his bomb shelter.
I'm looking for more memes, all right? Damn it.
Dude, that's going to be hard to live down, bro. That one's going to be around for a while.
Look, I've done a lot of things that are hard to live down. You get used to it.
I like this angle, though. This is a good shot. Very well done. Good placement of the camera in your kitchen.
Thank you. I actually went to school for photography.
Yep, sure you did.
None of that's true.
We can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. My shitty call so far. I did have Pryor as a top 10 guy in my rankings. Also got Cooks in there after the Edelman injury. So probably didn't matter whether that happened or not. I think Cooks is a decent little buy low too, and I got Crowell in the top 10, and so those are kind of a few guys that I've been off a little bit. Maybe Abdullah as well. I was pretty high on him. He's getting less than 50% of the snaps, and he's getting the touches, but he's gonna have to be really efficient with them to be able to put up those kind of numbers. I mean, he's barely cracking top 30. He's got to get into the end zone, and they won't let him touch the ball inside the 20. So he's kind of shit out of luck in that regard.
That's probably due to him being fumble prone. I'm just guessing. I don't know. I haven't talked to anyone in Detroit. I can't verify that.
You haven't hung out with anyone in Detroit lately?
No, not on the coaching staff.
Not on the coaching staff. Well, okay.
It was just anybody in Detroit.
Yeah. Anyone can confirm that for me.
Shane outside.
Yep. Keep your eyes open for skunks, boys. All right.
Shane's gonna do some meth on air right now. He's just gonna hit his light bulb.
Wait. What do you use a light bulb for? I don't understand. Meth jokes.
Looks like John Bosch is in a league with you, right?
With who?
You're in a league with him?
Yeah, I am in the John Bosch. There are 475 different components to this league, and I keep changing the rules every week because no one knows any of the rules. But yes, I'm in the Dynasties, I want to say Supremacy League with him. There is a best ball. There's a single season best ball. I think there's a Dynasty best ball. There's a DFS component. There's auctions. There's everything. Everything. There's an arm wrestling competition at the end of the year. It just, none of it makes sense to me.
John Bosch is that really rich kid that you hang out with and he makes up a game on his own, but there's 1,500 rules that he's just wait, hold on, but if you do that, then this happens, and he just starts making up rules on the fly. That's what John Bosch does. He has clauses in the bylaws where he's like, I'm just going to make up a new rule every third week of the season. It's what the fuck? That's going to change the entire dynamic of the league. It's
I've had to go back to start 3 times.
Yep. And then he
can't do those
tells you later, and he's like, read the bylaws.
He screenshots them.
Yeah,
so you're like,
screenshot them. Yeah. Anyways, in the league that he has with you, he did since he has commish powers, he's changed your team name to something you will enjoy quite a bit. Yeah, we'll let you find that out for yourself. So shout out to John Bosch. Good call on that.
Team Memes. I like it. I'm going to name all my teams that.
Please do.
Please don't.
You have to embrace it.
I do.
Best way to do it.
You're about to trend on Twitter here shortly.
You're about to trend on Twitter.
Oh, God. I'm trying to stay under the radar. That's why I came on this show.
Living.
Then you go and drop a bomb like Memes and it goes worldwide.
No shit.
What are you going to do? So what about that Rashard Perryman who was buying in on him?
Oh, gosh.
Oh, Jesus.
The same guys that are buying Kevin White every single year. It's like, hey, these guys are going to be solid. No, they're fucking not. They're going to get hurt. Don't say that. Injury prone is not a real thing. It's a fucking thing for these two dudes. I guarantee it. Something's wrong with them.
Well, hold on. He is in Baltimore, and I don't know what the fuck they're drinking. So that
he hasn't gotten hurt. He hasn't gotten hurt this year.
Yeah, but he sucks. He just sucks.
Well,
he's never going to be the Rashard Pyramid that everybody wanted because he just kind of sucks. They're like, oh wait, he's actually playing and he's not hurt. He's not really that good. Jeremy Macklin's doing better than him, and it's not even close. You have Ben Watson out doing fucking Rashard Pyramid.
It's a little bit close. I mean, they're close in targets. I think they're separated by 1. But they're both low.
Again, stats. Please don't put those out. Don't use stats.
Stats.
I didn't know.
What about fantasy points, please?
Yeah, he's not doing well there. You got me there. You got me.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Oh, but obviously they played two pretty crappy teams this first couple weeks. Cincinnati, Cleveland. Flacco's only thrown the ball 51 times, and Macklin and Watson are tied for the target lead over 2 games with 9. And Perriman's right behind them with 8. So
with 1 reception.
It's not good.
One reception.
It's not good
On 8 targets.
But I don't know what. There's a stat. It's like 16% catch rate. Is that 1 out of 8? Something like that. It's a stat.
It's lower.
It's lower.
But I'm not a math guy.
I'm not a math guy either. Clearly, I couldn't even pull up a calculator.
12 and a half.
12 and a half.
Hey,
Go ahead, J. Mike.
No, I was going to pivot. So if you're going Perriman, this is you.
I was going to talk about that Mike Wallace is irrelevant, and Rashad Perriman can at least take over that role, whatever that is. So I don't know. I don't think it's quite Kevin White level for Perriman yet. White's will have been in the league for 3 years by the end of the year, and has played in like 2.5 games or so, 3.5 games. And I don't know. I think Perriman will just be kind of a guy that takes some time. I'm not giving up, but I think he's definitely a dynasty guy. Like, could have a year or two of relevancy in like 2 years. But I don't know. Just kind of one of those guys. Everyone wants them to succeed like early on at 23 or 24, and it's just like, chill. It's not realistic.
Well, don't forget, White was also a guy that was going to be a project coming out of that West Virginia offense, and he hasn't even had time to learn the position in the NFL. So even when he does come back, he's still got a curve to meet.
Well, he's had plenty of time to learn. He just hasn't had much time to actually
apply
what he's learned.
Yeah, apply. Yeah.
Yeah, he's watched plenty of film on himself.
No, he vehemently denies that, Gabe. He denies that happened. That did not take place.
Not at the pro level, right? Because if he watches the pro level tape, it's just him breaking stuff. I don't know. Maybe he's a sadist. Maybe he's into that. Oh yeah, watch me break my collarbone again.
Just needs to work on falling down. Just needs to practice falling down a little bit better. That's it.
Exactly.
Falling down metrics coming soon to Dynasty Happy Hour.
Hey, Gabe, do we have time for me to throw out one more name that they're talking through on the chat?
Totally.
One guy who may currently be torpedoing your RB1 or RB2 spot, depending upon where you took him, Mr. Isaiah Crowell.
I was hoping we didn't come back to him. I was like secretly on him. I was like taking him 3rd to 5th round in redraft. I didn't buy him anywhere in Dynasty, but I was hoping he'd be good just because everybody was talking him up. I was like, you know what? He's got this, but I would rather have Duke right now in a heartbeat. Like 4 rounds later, I would have had Duke.
Yeah, it seems like they might end up at the same point by the end, with the same amount of points by the end of the year, and Duke was a much cheaper option in like the 10th, 11th round or so. I don't own him. I don't own Crowell anywhere, but like I said, I had him as a top 10 guy. So seems like that could have been a miss. Let's see.
Duke's second on the team in targets.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's playing. They got him coming out of the slot.
Yep.
No, I'm just saying with Gabe's point on them meeting some point down the road in terms of fantasy points scored. I just find it interesting. Like if you have him in PPR right now, like you've got to be incredibly happy about throwing him out at flex every week. I'd imagine.
Has he done anything? Because I'm not starting Duke Johnson anywhere.
He's done enough to be relevant as like a deep flex, but he's doing enough to stay on the field at least too. He's not losing any sort of snaps. If anything, he's taking on more snaps. He also had a good run this past week too. So he's also just working more out of the backfield and less of a but a ton of at the receiver position too. So he's killing it.
He's
in terms of
the field, even when he does hit out of the backfield, he looks good in his runs. And Crowell's just kind of looking a little slow and running into the line, but Duke, he looks swift and always a good pass catcher too. So I don't know. Looks like he was the better option for sure.
Let me ask you this: in a standard league, obviously we're not thrilled about Crowell right now. In the standard league, do you guys? Do you trade him for Terrell Pryor?
Who?
I know Corey's auto, yes. Let me
I've already tried to.
Corey.
I've already tried to.
I trade Crow for Pryor for sure, yeah. I think they're
Gabe,
both like dud-like right now, so I mean, it's like pick your poison.
Oh, son of a bitch. I'm looking at a lineup, and I do have to put Duke Johnson in this week. Oh.
You did this to yourself.
What'd you say, Corey?
I was just gonna say you had Crowell in your top 10 this year, and you don't own him in a single league.
No, because I had Tymo higher, so I was always on Tymo.
Oh.
I always took him before, and
I was low on Crowell, and I got him in round 4 of one of my big redraft leagues, and he's killing me. He's my number 1 running back. He's just killing me. But what do you do? I mean, you can't trade him. He's too low. He's kind of got to ride it out, I guess. My other running backs in that league are Mark Ingram and LeGarrette Blount, so.
Shit.
Wasteland.
Shit.
I also had Hyde. So he was around 4th, 5th round range. So if Crow was there, I'd just wait around and get Hyde.
Yeah.
Like Crow.
Crowell has the Colts this week.
That's true.
Yeah,
I didn't pick up Carson in that league though, so Carson might be my guy.
There you go. Chris Carson, he's the hot waiver ad, huh? If he wasn't already added last week, he's got to be at least worth 50% of your FAB budget or something, huh?
Yeah, I snatched him up in any league he was available at the end of the preseason, just because you kind of saw where that mess of a backfield was going. He's Thomas Rawls 2.0. Maybe not.
Gonna say, yeah,
not in the player, but like I don't know his running style other than I think he runs hard. But that backfield it's just horrible. So hopefully people picked him up and flipped him, just trade him for whatever the hell you can get. Because
it looks like he's going to be the guy there now.
To me, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it seems like he's going to be the guy. He got the most carries. I don't know if they're easing Rawls in or not, but if
it looks like, I mean, Lacey looks like he's done. Like,
oh, yeah, well, yeah, I mean,
yeah, I mean,
behind that line, he's done.
Well, that line's so bad. Like, it's so awful. But so Lacey take him out of the picture. So you got Rawls, Procise, and Carson, and Rawls is banged up. So it's kind of Carson and Procise on 3rd down, basically.
Yeah, Procise is. I think he's really, I don't know, kind of underperformed what people maybe wanted, and have just kind of come to realize that he's just kind of that, like, change of pace back, like a Geo shit. I was gonna say a Geo light, but worse.
But he's not. That's the problem. I'm gonna blame a lot of this on Seattle's setup, where they decide that offensive line isn't very important to protect, Russell Wilson, or to get a running game. Let's just spend all the money we have on the defense. I think that 60% of their cap is allocated towards the defense, something like that. It's one of the heaviest skewed in the league towards defense. CJ Procise is 6 foot tall, 220. Like, he could be a good player. They're not using him. He's got 4 fucking carries this year. Like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? That's just ridiculous. I mean, they're not throwing him the ball. They're not handing him the ball. You can't perform when basically you're not used. It's impossible. I know he was injured last year, and I think he had an injury in college, but none of it was stuff that was like soft tissue stuff. It was like legit, like, oh, I broke something type shit, which, that's not injury prone unless you're Kevin White and you're made of China or whatever. But if they don't give him the ball, they don't use him, he's not going to perform. So that's just my thoughts on Procise. I love him because he's another guy I was buying in the offseason, assuming that Seattle would show a modicum of I don't know creativity on the offensive side to get him the ball. But I was wrong. I was wrong about that. They don't.
Well, Seattle's been trailing this year too. You think that's Procy's like territory is when they're trailing and they're just not getting touches, and it's like, whoa, what's going on?
Yeah, I don't understand it, to be honest with you. He has 3 receptions. Chris Carson has 2 receptions, and he's not receiving back particularly. That's not his his skill set really. But again, we're just fans. We don't really know what goes on behind the scenes. Maybe Procyse is yelling at the coaches or falling asleep in the film sessions, or I don't know. I have nothing. I got nothing. I have no idea why they're not using him.
Well, you talk to the Detroit guys and the Cleveland guys. Like, why the hell don't you talk to Seattle guys? I don't get that.
I don't like Pete Carroll. He's a hippie.
You know who? So you know who Chris Carson like sort of reminds me of? That's kind of light. He's pretty pedestrian, pretty slow, but the burst and sort of wiggleness does remind me a little bit of Kareem Hunt. So he does burst through
the legend of Kareem already. I love it.
Right? Yeah, we're back to Kareem. We got to go full circle, but that's why I said Kareem Hunt light, because Kareem Hunt's the GOAT. But I don't know, Chris.
He's your Simeon.
Exactly. And really, if you kind of look back, Seattle, even though they always seem to have a shit show in the backfield, they always tend to have a guy to carry the ball 15 to 20 times a game. They don't really have the splits like people might think. Just because it's a shit show of a backfield, you still have a 1 in 5 shot of getting the guy, whoever it is, kind of thing.
One last thing here, Gabe, I want to throw out. Mike threw this out in the chat on YouTube here. Obviously, I believe the Cardinals, who are they playing on Monday night? Can't remember. Anybody?
Yes.
Good deal.
Dallas.
Yeah. So if John Brown's out, are we going back to the well on J.J. Nelson one more
Absolutely.
week?
Hell yeah.
I think so.
I'll go back to the well this week. Already. I picked up J.J. Nelson a ton. I'll probably not play him, but I did take him over the other bums there, like Britton Golden, who's up and coming. He'll be there someday, but J.J. Nelson all week.
And Kerwin Williams.
I love
make a comeback too.
Yeah. I love Nelson and DFS this week too. Got him everywhere.
He's still pretty cheap too. His pricing hasn't caught up with his production from even the first week. He wasn't bad. He's got 2 touchdowns already. He's got 1 each week. The snaps aren't going to be there if John Brown plays, because I don't know why. Look, I used to love Smoke, but it's time to give up on him. I think it's just not going to happen. He's a walking soft tissue injury. So either way, yeah. If John Brown doesn't play this week, you got to be on J.J. Nelson.
Yeah, he's not playing this week, and I don't think he's going to play in week 4 either, is kind of from the looks of things. So
just shut him down for the year. Try again next year.
Kevin White style. Yeah. No love for Jerron Brown, though. The other Jay Brown that seems to be a confusing waiver wire ad each and every week last year.
No.
He's got to show something.
Keep it moving.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd rather start Chad Williams, and I don't even know if he's active on game day.
I saw him make a nice catch in the Colts game.
Yeah.
A sideline catch on the Colts game.
Did he?
Yeah.
Was it before the game, or it was actually during the game?
It was just in warm-ups.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
It was in game. It was in the game.
All right.
Fair enough, though. Yeah. All right. Should we wrap it up, Jay, Mike? We're running all right. I mean, we started a little bit late, so but we ought to wrap things up here. Get the kids to bed. I think the skunks come out around this time, so we got to get Shane locked up in the safe.
Wait, locked up? What? I'm sorry. Oh, shit.
We're gonna lock you and Zach in a chamber and see who comes out. I'm sure if we put you two
7 minutes in heaven.
Yeah, that's right.
I got to be honest with you. My money's on Zach.
Zach, you stay wildin', man.
You go to heaven.
All of it. You lock us in a room, and basically, I'm just gonna cower in the corner and do whatever he tells me.
Whatever role you want me to play, man. It's cool. We'll go there.
Oh, I'm scared.
I'm loving this romance.
Yeah, about that last call, Gabe.
Right. Yeah, better wrap this up and stop the broadcast. All right, we're going to say goodbye and say our goodbyes from left to right on my screen at least. We'll start with Corey. Share the love in which you feel, and we will follow that love, sir.
Yeah, you can catch me at Twitter at Corey Cameron02. So,
Any reference for the 02? Do you want to explain what the 02 means?
I needed a number, and that's the year I graduated, so that's about it.
Oh, okay.
Riveting.
I like that story. You shut your mouth.
No, I like Corey. Corey's
Yeah.
my dude. I like Corey.
Hey, Mike, you've been on this show too much with me. You're turning into an asshole, dude. You got to be careful.
Thanks for calling me out on that one.
It's all love. Corey knows that. Corey's my dude.
All right, Shane.
Oh,
Where the skunks at?
thankfully none were out there. I did see a possum last night, and I ran.
Scary.
Yeah, I ran inside because they look like hairless chupacabras.
Memes per se.
The memes. There was memes all over about opossums. What am I? I'm at DFF_Shane on Dynasty Football Factory. I've been drinking. DynastyFootballFactory.com. Also, I want to say Shana Tova to all the Hebrew lights. Happy New Year. That's all I got.
Oh yeah, I actually know about that, but okay. Good call, Shane.
Hey.
Can't say any more than that, but good call, Shane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
BBK. Preach some knowledge. More Simeon knowledge.
Yeah.
One more hot take.
Yeah, if you want, actually, yeah, but you have to pay for them. If you want any more Simeon hot takes, I'm actually charging for them now. They're so fire. No, I'm on Twitter at Zach with 3 H's VK with fake pigskin. I think they haven't fired me yet. They might. Oh, just got an email. I'm a free agent, so it was terrible.
Get him up at. Get him on the squad. Triple H, like pedigree, like
Yes.
wrestling, like DX, suck it. You know.
No, it's just because there's an H at the end of my name, and then I just put 2 other H's because Zach with 1 H was already taken.
Now these are.
It's kind of like O2, you know. I could have been Zach VK02, but I decided I could take that one.
Yeah, that one's mine.
Yeah, man. Hey, hashtag brand. Get off his block.
Yep. And co-host J Mike. What's up, dude?
Happy to be here. At J Mike Check on Twitter. JMIC Check. Again, ready for this week 3 shootout. Rams, Niners. If you aren't in front of your TV watching that on Thursday night, I don't know what you're doing with your life. So, that's it.
I'm waiting for Boy Toy Hoyer to have his top 10 week. Waiting for it.
Sexy boy.
What?
I'm
sorry.
Don't know.
Hey,
You said
John.
Boy Toy. You said Boy
John.
Toy. That was the Shawn Michaels theme song right there.
So I'm looking at John. John doesn't follow me, and I don't follow him.
Wow.
That's changing right now.
Yeah,
I need to get in
I'm
the
sorry,
closet.
dude. I just followed you. I apologize. That's a shit move on my part.
Wow.
Look, man, I'm nobody. I'm just happy to be here. You, on the other hand, followed, done.
And quietly unfollowed overnight.
typically what happens. We bring 3 people follow just to get in the group messages, and then we unfollow.
Who the crap is this guy?
All right. I'm at Grab Bag Fantasy. This is the Dynasty Happy Hour Podcast Network. The website's down for now, but we still got podcasts running. People are like, where's the website? It's like, look, we know it's down, but look, we got podcasts. We got 3 of them. The Dynasty Happy Hour, still there. The Dynasty Tilt, or not Dynasty Tilt, the Fantasy Tilt, still there. Okay?
One more.
The Open Bar.
Wait.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, this might be our last week after this fucking shit show, but we're still here for now.
Real quick, Gabe. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off.
Okay, go.
Sorry. We don't ever say this ever, and to those 5 people listening, not including my mom, thank you guys so much for subscribing, for listening, for shouting us out on Twitter. We see those, and thank you. It's incredibly humbling to see people give us crap about our randomness. But again, thank you guys very much for listening.
Yeah,
you don't want to thank your
Mike.
But I'm sorry, you don't want to thank your mom for listening?
Nah, man, it's out of obligation, man.
I don't know. My mom doesn't listen to anything I'm on or any. She doesn't read anything I write. She actually blocked me on Facebook when I keep trying to share it with her. So
it's unconditional. She's always going to be there, man. It's all good. But you're totally right, J. Mike. I mean, we get a lot of interaction from people in the chat or on Twitter and things that bring up some funny, interesting things on the show. So keep doing that every week, especially when it's live, because then we can come up and you're a part of the show. So that's cool. We love that. But yeah, we're here every Wednesday, 9:30 Eastern. Tune in. Otherwise, listen to the podcast that comes out on Thursday or Friday, depending how lazy Tyler is. Just kidding, Tyler. We know you're busy. But yeah, it's been good. Thanks for coming on, fellas. It's been good. I don't have anything else to say. How about a cheers? We do a little cheers to the camera, as if we're all here together. Little one of these. Okay. Okay, got it. There's a cheers. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see y'all next week. Deuces.